Good evening. I'm Kent Morrison. This is CTV News at 5.
Bring that same perspective.
Tonight, the Premier tries to quell rumors of an election this year while swearing in a new environment minister. Property taxes, rec center prices, in-office work, and code of conduct at the grocery store. The new year brings new rules for Albertans. And weather woes make it tough to get in, out, and around Edmonton.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Kent Morrison.
Well, Premier Smith was dogged with questions today about rumors and speculation of a possible early election. The Premier says the rumors are not true, and those with election fever will have to wait until 2027. CTV's Connor Hogg has more.
We do have two different swearing-ins today, but let's begin.
The swearing-in of new Environment Minister Grant Hunter in Calgary today, as well as new Chief Government Whip Justin Wright. The move was necessitated by the New Year's Eve announcement by former Environment Minister Rebecca Schultz that she would leave Cabinet immediately and caucus in May.
Rebecca has served her province as a cabinet minister for over 6 years with distinction in a number of extremely challenging files.
I want to thank former Minister Schultz for her service to the people of Alberta, and I want to wish Grant Hunter the best of luck.
Political scientist Lori Williams says the loss of someone like Schultz will make it tough for her replacement, who she says has less of the contacts and credibility the role needs.
Her replacement is not the moderate, broadly appealing kind of minister that Rebecca Schultz was. And there's no question that Rebecca Schultz fit that bill much better than Grant Hunter does.
Hunter did not speak to media after his appointment. At today's press conference, Smith was asked again about rumors of an early election call.
Our fixed election date is set for October 18th of 2027. I'm not quite sure why everyone is so anxious to rush to an election. The incredible polling I've seen suggests we do very, very well in an early election. And so we've got a mandate that we want to execute over the next 2 years, and we intend to continue doing so.
They don't have a strategy. Everything we know is they change their mind on the daily based on how popular they think they are.
Williams says the government is weighing its options with oil prices down and the Auditor General's healthcare procurement report on the horizon.
We just don't know what their internal polls are saying right now, but they've definitely taken a hit in the public opinion polls that are publicly available.
A potential way to reverse negative polls, a pipeline to the West Coast. Smith says that work is something her new environment minister will be a part of. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
The group petitioning for a referendum question on Alberta separation can start collecting signatures tomorrow. Alberta's chief electoral officer has issued petition signature sheets for the referendum petition. The Alberta Prosperity Project wants Albertans to vote on the question, do you agree that the province of Alberta should cease to be part of Canada to become an independent state? The group has until May 2nd to collect nearly 178,000 signatures. A previous petition on a separation referendum had been under judicial review before the UCP government made amendments to the Citizens Initiative Act. Well, new rules and new prices are in store for Edmontonians to begin 2026. A 6.9% jump in property tax will mean around $245 more for the average homeowner. Canada's food price report predicts families of four will spend almost $1,000 more on groceries this year. And some admissions and memberships went up January 1st at city rec centers. An annual household membership now up $56 extra.
Oh, I'm going to attend, but I'm going to complain about it.
It's something you really want to do, you enjoy doing, you'll find a way to make it work.
There are also rule changes coming. Provincial public service workers are heading back to the office full-time next month. Well, today's weather is impacting people's ability to travel on the road and in the sky. RCMP issuing a travel advisory for a section of Highway 2 near Leduc after there were 5 crashes in about an hour and a half this morning. Dozens of flights out of the Edmonton International Airport were delayed, one of them canceled. 511 shows questionable road conditions all around Edmonton.
Vehicles going off the road, vehicles striking one another on off-ramps and on-ramps, and rear-end collisions near those ramps as well.
The RCMP now telling drivers to cancel or at least postpone highway travel if possible. If you do decide to drive, they suggest taking it slow. And it's been a struggle getting around the city as well. The city says crews are working 24/7 right now trying to clear major roadways and bus routes, contending with more snow than usual. The city says from November 1st to New Year's Day, 72 centimeters of snow hit the ground. That's 30 centimeters more than the same time frame last year.
Actually, we just compiled the statistics for the month of December, and Edmonton received 50.2 millimeters of precipitation, and that is actually 425% of the normal precipitation for the month of December.
The city says details on a residential parking ban and clearing will be announced next week. And the extreme weather response in Edmonton is in effect because temperatures are expected to drop heading into the weekend. Temperatures expected to hit minus 20 degrees Celsius and feel colder with the wind chill. The Al Rashid Mosque will remain open as an overnight shelter with up to 50 extra spaces. The Bissell Center also serving as a navigation center to find 24/7 emergency shelters, health services, and housing support. If you do see someone who needs help, you can call the crisis diversion team at 211. Well, Kaylin Mitchell is here now in for Josh today to take a closer look at the forecast. Kaylin?
Thank you, Kent. Well, it's a cold start for Edmonton for 2026. Let's take a look at our almanac for today. Throughout much of the day, the temperature was steady of around minus 14. That is below the average high this time of year, closer to minus 8. The record high was set in 2019, and that was 8.6 degrees. The record low set in 1984 at minus 32.8. It was cold this time last year as well. Now, as far as weather conditions go, we have had some areas of light snow and flurries in the vicinity of Edmonton. And to the south, some dense fog as well as a risk of some freezing drizzle. For the city itself, though, the forecast over the next 24 hours as we move through tonight, we can expect partly cloudy conditions. And then by the time we get to the start of the day for tomorrow, about a returning chance of about 30-40% of some flurries. Morning temperature will be cold around minus 19. Heading into the afternoon, we're looking at cloudy periods up till around the noon hour, and then developing late in the afternoon and extending on into the evening will be some periods of lighter snow, much like what we've been seeing over the past couple of days, and the potential for some accumulations in that snow again late tomorrow afternoon, extending through the evening in the range of around 1 to 4 centimeters. Cold day for tomorrow. High temperature will be around minus 17, accompanied by an easterly wind that in the afternoon will be between 10 and 20 kilometers per hour. I will have more in your forecast coming up just a little bit later on. Kent.
All right. Kaylin, thank you. Well, the final night is tonight for Candy Cane Lane. However, you can donate to Edmonton's Food Bank through the weekend. For 57 years now, neighbors in Crestwood have been inviting people through their neighborhood to enjoy the lights and leave a donation. The Food Bank says most years, Candy Cane Lane accounts for about 10% of the overall food goal. This year, attendance was down before Christmas. At that time, the Food Bank said it had collected 2,600 kilograms of food, which is about a third of what they collected last year. It had received about $5,000 in cash donation, which is less than half of the $12,000 target. Though tonight is the final day for the lane to be open, the food bank donation bins will remain through the weekend. But coming up, why Alberta farmers depend on temporary foreign workers and how new rules set by Ottawa could trickle down to you.
And they simply want to have access to the people and the tools to make sure they have the best outcome possible.
Programming brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
Well, the city of Calgary is focusing on water conservation as it works to repair a water main break from earlier this week. This video shows the moment the pipe burst, launching vehicles into the air on Tuesday night. Since then, city crews have found the source of the burst feeder main. Now, officials say the infrastructure is 50 years old, and the break means 60% of the city is affected. Residents of 4 neighborhoods remain under a boil water advisory. The city's under stage 4 water restrictions, which is the highest category.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, I guess, but hopefully it's not as bad as last year. Hopefully they can fix it. But yeah, definitely going to go buy some water bottles and see what, hopefully it's soon.
Now, the second time around, I think people will have in their mind to just avoid this area totally, knowing that, hey, anything can go wrong with the pipe anytime.
Treated water storage is at 473 million liters, which is below the target of 600 million litres. Medicine Hat's former city manager has found a new job. Ann Mitchell will be Chief Administrative Officer for Lac St. Anne County. Mitchell was fired in October after the city of Medicine Hat says it found her to be in violation of a respectful workplace policy. Mitchell is suing the mayor and the city for defamation and aggravated damage. A third of temporary foreign workers hired in Canada fall under the agricultural stream. That number could soon be dropping because of new rules put in place by Ottawa. As CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports, some Alberta farmers are worried about the potential impact on their business.
It takes a lot more than these busy bees to produce nearly 600,000 kilograms of honey a year. Nixon Honey Farms has been relying on the help of temporary foreign workers since 1998.
And we were quite smaller at that time, running less hives, and we started with just one worker and eventually 2 workers.
The farm now employs 18 seasonal and temporary foreign workers. In September, Ottawa announced it would reduce the number of temporary foreign workers allowed into Canada to 230,000 in 2026, down from 368,000. The measures were introduced due to recent high employment. Like many Alberta farmers, Nixon says he's tried to hire Canadians without much success.
It's hard manual labor, and we're lifting a lot of boxes, we're working in the heat. It's just one of these jobs in agriculture that we can't seem to attract a stable Canadian workforce.
And speaking with a lot of beekeepers, they don't want to get stung on the job, and kids don't want to work that hard 12 hours a day.
In response to the cuts, the Alberta Federation of Agriculture outlined a series of recommendations for the federal government to help farmers. The Federation says producers were anxious when they heard the program could impact how many temporary foreign workers they hire.
We have some of the most productive producers in all the world. And they simply want to have access to the people and the tools to make sure they have the best outcome possible.
Employment and Social Development Canada says temporary foreign workers account for 1% of Canada's workforce. Last year, more than a third of those workers were in agriculture. While Nixon says his farm is still operating as usual for now, he's worried about potential cuts.
I honestly don't know what we would do. Possibly looking at selling part of the business or downsizing.
The AFA says if farmers need to pay more for labor, that cost will trickle down to your dinner plate.
Or we're not going to have enough product, which means, less selection or less availability at the grocery store.
Employment and Social Development Canada didn't say how many agriculture positions would be reduced in the temporary foreign programs. It says it generally exempts the measures in agriculture and food processing. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Team USA Hockey revealed its Olympic roster today. Both Tkachuk brothers will suit up for their country, taking on Oilers captain Connor McDavid on Team Canada. Recently on their podcast, the Tkachuks talked about the animosity that they have with Edmonton.
Zach Kassian is incensed. I didn't realize at the time this was huge, and it brought back classic Battle of Alberta. I'm just a 21-year-old kid just having fun playing hockey.
The Tkachuks were discussing January of 2020. Matthew, who played for the Calgary Flames then, igniting a heated rivalry with Oilers enforcer Zach Kassian. It led to a war of words in the media, a suspension for Kassian, and fans calling Tkachuk a turtle. Tkachuk revealed the team had to bring in extra security when they next played in our city, giving him a pseudonym at a hotel and changing his transportation to Rogers Place.
They brought security, our own security, and maybe a cop from Calgary up to stay with us. And everybody walks to the rink for the games. They're like, Matthew, you have to take the bus. I'm like, all right, whatever. It doesn't really make any sense. Bus for what?
Tkachuk says the whole thing is a highlight of his career, and he has done a lot to earn the ire of Oilers fans, including the past 2 years defeating the Oilers in the Stanley Cup final as a member of the Florida Panthers. Well, Canada will take on Slovakia in the quarterfinals at the World Juniors in Minnesota today.
Porter Marteau puts it back across. Scores!
Canada completing the preliminary round undefeated after a 7-4 win over Finland on Wednesday night. Slovakia also wrapping up the preliminary round on Wednesday, losing 3-2 to Switzerland. Puck drop for tonight's game is 6:30. And 16 players from the PWHL have been named to the 2026 U.S. Olympic women's hockey team. The roster features players representing 5 of the 8 teams. The league's regular season schedule will be paused following games on January 28th. And the first Olympic matchup for Team USA comes against Czechia February 5th in Italy. Will still to come an abundance of fresh powder, skiers and snowboarders reveling in the mountain snow.
The energy around here it's electric.
Many ski hills in Alberta are entering the new year with record-breaking snow. Lake Louise Ski Resort says by the end of December, 503 centimeters had fallen. It's the only time the hill has surpassed the 500-centimeter threshold this early in the season. All 13 lifts are in operation, and nearly every run is open.
The energy around here it's electric. It's just everyone is so excited, everyone's so stoked. The pictures coming out on social of people just getting absolutely pitted in powder. It's been incredibly exciting.
Because of all the snow, the new terrain on Richardson Ridge has opened 3 months earlier than anticipated. In Jasper, Marmot Basin reports 225 centimeters so far this season. Now, some are ditching the hill for the backcountry, and Parks Canada wants to remind those heading in to check avalanche conditions and have the proper equipment.
We're definitely into the height of the winter, and the single biggest hazard in the wintertime is avalanches.
Recently, Avalanche Canada launched a new database on its website documenting every known avalanche fatality in Canada back to 1792. It says the data is helping to inform education and the forecasting process. All right, Kaylin Mitchell's here with another check on the weather. Kaylin?
Thank you, Kent. And we do have some frigid air in place across the province. So here's where I expect us to be as far as temperatures go by around midnight tonight. So for communities north of Edmonton, well down into the minus 20s, including down around minus 29 near high level, near minus 19 for Edmonton, and then minus 17 for Red Deer, minus 11 for Calgary, Medicine Hat around minus 13. Remember, if you are traveling into the south and you start getting around Red Deer and certainly south of Red Deer and in towards the southeast, you could run into some fog patches as well as a little bit of freezing drizzle, and there's some advisories out because of that. Taking a look at our futurecast for cloud cover and precipitation, fairly cloudy conditions expected as we make our way through the night and into the start of the day for tomorrow. There'll be around a 30-40% chance some flurries around Edmonton at the beginning of the day on Saturday, and then basically cloudy up until around noon. Then later in the afternoon, say 4 p.m. onward and extending into the evening, I do expect there will be some snow moving through and some accumulations in that of around 1 to 4 centimeters expected. On Sunday, north of Edmonton, there's likely to be a further period of some relatively light snow. Taking a look at low temperatures, or the start of the day for tomorrow, we've got temperatures that'll be in the minus 20s there. Again, to the north of the city, in Edmonton, minus 19, Red Deer around minus 14 to start the day, minus 11 at Calgary, and minus 12 at Lethbridge and Medicine Hat. Here's a look at our forecast across the province for tomorrow. And looking at high temperatures, it'll be around minus 22 for Peace River, minus 21 for Grand Prairie, minus 17 for Edmonton, as well as Whitecourt. Into southern parts of the province, most of the high temperatures tomorrow as well will be well below the freezing mark. Around 0 for Banff, minus 1 at Lethbridge, and minus 4 at Medicine Hat. Sun may be peeking through a little bit more in some of the southernmost areas of the province. But again, if you're headed that way for tonight or for tomorrow morning, there are some advisories in place, some fog advisories. It could be thick in some areas, and there's also a risk of a little bit of patchy freezing drizzle. All right, let's take a look at our 5-day forecast, and we remain cold through the upcoming weekend into the start of next week. There will be a chance some flurries Monday morning. After that, on Tuesday, it's a mix of sun and cloud, and temperatures begin to moderate just a little bit Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. I mean, it's not getting mild or warm by any stretch of the imagination, but temperatures a little bit closer to what we'd expect in the first part of January. January, so we could call that seasonably cold. Taking a look at our extended forecast over the next 10 days, that trend for temperatures to moderate a little bit by around Tuesday and Wednesday does extend until around Thursday and Friday of next week as well. Both of those days looking at a mix of sun and cloud. And then there's potential for the temperatures to come up another couple of degrees as we head into the following weekend. On Saturday, January 10th, there'll be a chance of some flurries, high temperatures near zero. Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud and high temperatures around -2, and similar conditions on Monday. Kent.
All right. Thank you, Kaylin. Well, when we return, we'll introduce you to both of Alberta's New Year's babies. That's right. 2 boys born at the exact same time in different cities. Plus,
3, 2, 1, Happy New Year!
some Edmontonians ring in the new year at noon without alcohol.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Some Edmontonians celebrated the start of 2026 with a countdown at noon on New Year's Day.
3, 2, 1, Happy New Year!
This is the gathering inside Spilled Zero Proof, the province's first mocktail bar. The owner says many people do not want to stay up or drink alcohol to ring in the new year. The bar's New Year's party offered people the chance to celebrate without feeling left out.
And I find a lot of people are wanting to celebrate in a more quiet, sort of reflective way at home. So this gives them an opportunity to have that party feeling and the sequins and the countdown without having to stay out too late and, you know, maybe be around a lot of alcohol, which just isn't for everybody.
The owner says dry January is the bar's busiest time of the year. And the first babies born in the new year in Alberta came out at the exact same time, 12:03 a.m. Curl was welcomed into the world by parents Stephanie and Elric at the Grey Nuns Community Hospital here in Edmonton. Baby boy weighing 6 pounds, 4 ounces. The other first newborn of the new year is another baby boy, Theodore, who was born to Sarah and Sebastian at the South Health Campus in Calgary, tipping the scales at 8 pounds, 6 ounces. And newly born giant panda cubs made their debut in China on the first day of 2026. The Chengdu Research Base of Giant Panda Breeding releasing a new video showing the heartwarming moments. China is making notable progress in giant panda conservation. The population of captive giant pandas in China has nearly doubled over the past decade, reaching a total of 808. Well, that's our show for this evening. Thanks so much for watching. CTV National News is coming up next.